Hi friends, now we will read one more poem which talks about what is youthfulness. Usually when you are young, we are very enthusiastic, we have got all energy, we are so full of the joy of living, what they call joie de vivre, etc. And then we are quite ebullient, bubbling with energy. So that is what happens when you are young. But then sometimes, even when you are not physically young, you feel like young. What are those situations when a person feels quite young? So that is a poem, a rather interesting poem. We will read the poem together and then I will explain the poem. Then we will close while repeating the poem. So I will read. Vasanta yavvana vrukshaha Purusha dhana yavvanaha Saubhagya yavvana naryo Yuvano vidyaya budhaha. Okay, so here it talks about four types of situations, or rather four types of persons or things which look quite youthful, which look quite enthusiastic, which are full of life. So first he takes the example of trees. When are the trees quite bright and quite good looking? Naturally in the spring season. In the spring season, when all the flowers are blooming, when all the trees they have new leaves and new branches, and sometimes most of the trees they also give fruits. So at that time the trees they look quite very splendid, beautiful, and then they are so nice to look at. The whole garden, if you have got a garden or something, it looks so beautiful. That is Vasanta. Vasanta is the spring season. So Vasanta yavvanaha vrukshaha. For the trees, what is the youth? The youth is only that spring season. Spring season is the youth for a tree. Then Purushaha dhana yavvanaha. Purushaha, that is male. We are now talking about not trees, males. A man, dhana yavvanaha. This is a rather mischievous statement. So we have to accept some of the mischievous statements because the poet is simply observing what is happening in the world. The poet is not condemning them. The poet is not making any comment. He is only making an observation that people are young when they have money. So an old man with a lot of money is quite young. So he will even contest for the post of the President of America. So like that, an elderly man with a lot of money, he is so full of confidence, so full of enthusiasm, so full of life, so full of bubbling energy. So he has got all the doctors attending on him, and so all stimulants and whatnot, and so he is quite active. So Purushaha dhana yavvanaha. So dhana yavvanaha means when they have money, there is a lot of when they have a lot of money, they are also quite young. Dhana yavvanaha. Saubhagya yavvana naryaha. This is another comment on women. In olden days, probably there was a slight contrast between a man and a woman. Man, of course, all said and done, it is a male-dominated society. All over the world, it is in different degrees. To different degrees, it is a male-dominated world. We are also a male-dominated world, though we have got so many gods and goddesses. Every day you go and worship Goddess Shakti, Goddess Parvati, Goddess Durga, etc., etc. But having come home, you try to dominate your wife. So there is some sort of male domination in Indian society. There is male domination in Western society. We can't talk about male domination in some other Arabian countries. So there is complete domination there. So like that, there is some sort of contrast. So after talking about Purushaha dhana yavvanaha, that is men, they are quite young when they have a lot of money. Then the contrasting is Naryaha. Naryaha is women. Nari is one, woman. Nari, Naryav, Naryaha. Naryaha, when are they young? When there is Saubhagyam. This Saubhagyam is a rather technical word. Saubhagyam, it doesn't mean wealth. Not only wealth. Saubhagyam is actually in a marital life, when the man and woman, they are quite friendly to each other, quite understanding. and then they respect each other, they love each other genuinely, not for physical relationship, but genuinely love each other. So that is what is called Saubhagyam. And each one is loyal to the other. That sort of loyalty also is expected. So that sort of loyalty and then love and care, affection, not only from the husband, from all family members, etc., etc., that is the Saubhagyam for a woman. So when a woman is, in the case of a woman, Saubhagyam is a caring, a loving, say husband, and a loving environment, the whole family, where she goes. So that entire family should have that loving environment. So that is what is called Saubhagyam. So Saubhagya Yavana Naryah. So in the case of women, then the Saubhagya, that is what is Yavana, that is what is Yavanam. Not simply because she is young, she may not be happy. Simply because she may be beautiful, she may not be happy. So here in the case of Saubhagya, Kalidasa has used this word. There is a very famous Sanskrit poet named Kalidasa. So Kalidasa uses this word in a beautiful line in Kumara Sambhava. Priyeshu Saubhagya Palahi Charuta. So in the Panchama Sarga, the 5th chapter of that Kumara Sambhava, the first shloka is this. So what happens was, usually there it is a story of gods and demons. So there was a very ferocious demon, and that demon was subduing all the gods and torturing all gods. So all the gods, they go to Brahman and then they say Brahma, and then they ask him, sir, what is the remedy? Then he says, okay, the child who is born to Shiva and Parvati, so that fellow will be able to kill this demon. No one else will be able to kill. So that is Shiva. By that time Shiva, say he was not married. The Shiva's earlier wife, she had died. That's a different story anyway. And then Shiva was doing tapas. And Parvati is the daughter of Himavan. Parvati is the daughter of Himavan, that is the mountain king, let us say. And then Parvati was also an extremely beautiful damsel. So then all the gods, they mediated, and then they convinced the mother of, say, Parvati, because mother of Parvati, you see, mothers usually, they look for wealth on the part of the bridegroom. So Shiva is somebody who is a total recluse. He may be a handsome man, but he doesn't have money. So the mother initially hesitates, but then all the gods, they convince her, no, he is the greatest god, you please give your daughter to him, etc., etc. Father, anyway, Himavan is quite happy, and then he is prepared to give the daughter. And then this lady, how to attract this gentleman? He is in tapas. He just opens his eyes just for a small break, and then again goes into tapas. Just fulfills his bodily, say, needs, and then he goes to tapas. Then how to attract him? Then they make a suggestion. They make a suggestion that, okay, you now go and serve this gentleman. So this lady goes, and then when he is doing tapas and all that, she makes all arrangements. She arranges flowers, she arranges fruits, she arranges some food, etc., etc. And then, okay, he wakes up, he breaks his tapas, and then sees, but he doesn't even look at her. So this goes on for a long, long time. Then the gods are worried, and then they take the help of the Cupid, what in English they call Cupid. We have got a person called Manmatha. So this Manmatha has got some arrows like that Cupid. So this Manmatha, he goes, and then he intervenes, and then he shoots some arrows on Lord Shiva when he just, at the time when he breaks his tapas. So at some point of time, so he breaks his tapas, and then right at that time, Parvati is there in front of her. So for a minute, Shiva also is perturbed. Shiva also, he looks at her, and then his mind rather wavers. Then Shiva immediately recollects, and then he wants to see why his mind got disturbed. So he sees this fellow, this Manmatha, hiding behind a tree, and then he has just shot some arrows, and then he is hiding behind a tree. So then he very angrily looks at him. So the very angry look burns him down. So that is a different story. So then he again relapses into his tapas. He doesn't bother for Parvati. So then Parvati, she says, Priyeshu Saubhagya Palahi Charuta. Nininda Rupam Hrudayena Parvati. That is, Parvati cursed her own Rupam. What is the use of this beauty? What is the use of this beauty when it is not able to please the husband, when it is not able to please the say not yet husband, of course going to be husband. Priyeshu saubhagya phalahi charuta. That is, only when the loved one, when a person whom you are loving, when he reciprocates, then only there is a meaning for your beauty. Otherwise there is no meaning for your beauty. So Parvati there, that Priyeshu saubhagya phalahi charuta, Priya Vallabhyam, that is the meaning which is given there, that is the lover, either your lady love or the person who is loving you, the person whom you love, there should be mutual love and affection. So there, of course, the meaning of the story is rather deeper. That is, there should not be lust in human relationship. Between a man and woman also, between a wife and a husband, the lust should not be the main role, should not play the main role. There should be love, care, respect, affection, etc. Only then they will beget some good children. Otherwise, the children they get, they will not be proper. They will not be good children. That is what is the rule. That is what is the dharma says. That is, only when you are in a pleasant mood, in a good mood, not in a lustful mood, then the children you get are going to be good, pious, dharmic people. So anyway, that saubhagya has that meaning. Saubhagya has all that meaning. Then yuvano vidyaya budhaha. Budha means wise person, a learned person. A learned person is young when he is really learned. Vidyaya, by education, by knowledge, they are young. So even when you go to an old man, all people they go and listen to him. Why? Because the old man is having some brain. So an old man, as some English poet said, an old man is but a tattered coat and a stick, he says. An old man is a paltry thing, a tattered coat upon a stick, etc., etc., he says. And then for every tatter in its mortal dress, his soul should sing, it seems. His soul should sing for every tatter in its mortal dress. That is what an English poet says. So like that, Buddhaha, these old people, not old people, say for scholars, Vidya is the youth. So a learned man, even if he is a 90-year-old man, people go with respect, great respect, and then they listen to him. So that is what is youth in him. So like that, there are 4 situations in which 4 things have been compared. So here if you see the grammar or anything, Vasanta Yavvanaha Vrukshaha. This is Vasanta Yavvanaha. I need not go into grammar, but briefly I can say that Vasanta Yavvanaha is what is called Bahurihi Samasa. Vasantaha, Vasanta Rutu, Vasantaha Yavvanam Yesham Te Vasanta Yavvanaha. Similarly, Dhanam Yavvanam Yesham Te Dhana Yavvanaha. So like that, Dhanam is their youth. So that is why they are called Dhana Yavvanaha. Vasanta Rutu or spring is their youth. So that is why they are called Vasanta Yavvanaha. Then Saubhagya Yavvanaha. Saubhagyam is their youth. So that is why they are called Saubhagya Yavvanaha. Naryaha. Naryaha becomes Naryo. Because of Sandhi, Saubhagya Yavvana Naryo. Naryo is Naryaha. Nari, Naryav, Naryaha. So that Naryaha. Yuvanaha. Yuvanaha is plural. For Yuva. Yuva, Yuvanau, Yuvanaha. That is Yuva. In English we say, not in English, in Hindi we say Javan, Yuvan, so something. Yuvanaha, youth. Youth and Yuva, both cognate words. Yuvanaha, Vidyaya Buddhaha. By knowledge, these old people, they are young. So that is what the poem says. Let us repeat the poem. Vasanta Yavvana Vrukshaha. Purusha Dhana Yavvanaha. Saubhagya Yavvana Naryo. Yuvano Vidyaya Buddhaha. Fine.